Hi everyone, this is the second try of me going over and walking at the park, so we'll see how that works. That is a 3-mile loop, and yesterday it didn't go so well, so we'll see how today goes. I'll check in with you in just a little bit. Hey everybody, so I'm in the park and I've already walked a half a mile. My right foot it is still painful, but it's about 85% better. My left foot, another story. It's being a little stubborn. There are all kinds of things floating in the air. It's like dandelion fuzz. It's everywhere. Huh. Okay. Oh, I'll show you what it is. I don't know what you call those things with the white heads on them, but that's where all the little floaties are coming from. Status update. I realized I did not share that information with you on my video. I really didn't think you all would be interested in all of those details, but you are, so I'm going to share them with you. I had some pre-existing foot problems before I ever left to go on trail. One is I have bone spurs on both of my feet, kind of where your bunion area would be, where your big toe is, but it's not a bunion. They're bone spurs. They're different, and they can be very, very painful. Mine are exceedingly painful, and as I said, I had those before I ever left. Additionally, when I found out I had bone spurs, I also learned that I have arthritis in both of my big toes, and it's been there for many, many years. The problem with that is I have no cartilage in my big toes, and so you can have surgery to have cartilage inserted into the joints in your big toe if you have just a little bit of cartilage left, because they attach it to the old cartilage. But if you have no cartilage between your big toes, there's nothing, or any other joint, there's nothing they can do because there's nothing to attach it to. Well, I have no cartilage in my big toes, and what that means is it's bone on bone. So every step I take, ascent, descent, doesn't matter, it's bone grating on bone. I knew that before I left to go on the trail. I was just going to be part of the journey, and I didn't complain about it, didn't talk about it. There was no reason to. However, what happened after the journey is this. Walking on lots of rocks, very long distances, daily, almost daily. Big ascents, big descents, boulder scrambling, things my feet were not used to. My feet didn't like that. After I spoke with the doctor, after her taking all those x-rays, I have severe plantar fasciitis in both heels, or feet. I have Achilles tendonitis in both feet. I think it's called peritoneal tendonitis in both feet. I have very high arches, which makes you pronate and walk this way. So the peritoneal, that's what this part means, being on the outside like that. Have that in both feet. And the second toe on my right foot next to the big toe, I kept wondering why it felt like I was walking on a rock. And she informed me it's no rock. What it is that second toe needs to be broken and through surgery and realigned because it didn't grow properly, and I'm actually walking on bone underneath my foot from a toe that's not shaped properly. I don't know what to say. So, lots going on. Second toe, broken toe, realigned toe surgery. That's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. It wouldn't happen until I at least have surgery to have that bone spur removed at the same time. That is almost a 1-year recuperation process for me. I told you that I had bone spurs in both of my feet. I've had surgery on the left foot and had a bone spur removed before, and I was told that it could grow back in time. Not always, but sometimes they do. Well, mine has grown back. It took me a year to recuperate from that surgery. So it's not a surgery that you can have, I can have, and just recuperate quickly from. It took me about 4 months before I could even get a shoe on after that surgery because it was so swollen. And, you know, everybody heals differently. And part of my healing, the length of my healing, the delay, is because of my age. And the other, I guess, is just genetics. I don't know, but I just don't heal properly or quickly from that. With those things that are going on with my feet, the doctor recommended several months, actually, of, you know, rest and recuperation for my feet, to which I responded, that is just not possible. And is there a way to try and find a solution for us to at least let me hike as long as I can without having to come off trail? I've already shared the rest of that story with you. So my right foot is doing much better, actually. It really is, but my left foot is being pretty stubborn, so I don't exactly know what that means. I had planned on returning to trail this Friday, which is just a few days from now. However, that may have to be delayed another week. I don't want it to be, but I'm trying to be smart about it and not get my emotions involved. Kind of hard to do. Anyway, getting back to the, you know, long list of healing things that need to occur with my feet. Am I happy? I am happy to be home with my husband. I cherish him and our boy, and a soft bed and a toilet, and my neighbors have been great, my neighbors and friends. And yet, I long to be back on trail. It's just so interesting. You're on trail, you miss home. You're home, you miss being on trail. I don't know. The birds are so pretty. The birds are singing so pretty today. Anyway, so let's move on from that tantalizing information. I'm going to answer a few questions that were sent to me. How long did you train before you started hiking? I trained for 11 months, and I would have trained for longer, but that was when I decided that I actually wanted to do it. So I began training 11 months before I left, and the next question was, how did you train? What did you do? I did several different things. I joined a CrossFit, and that was a killer. That was when I realized I was way more out of shape than I thought I was, but that was a good experience. I started power walking, and I power walk in a very mean and aggressive way. People actually kind of move out of the way when they see me coming. Anyway, I started power walking. Oh, look at these flowers. Oh, so pretty. I actually began running. It was slow, and I did a 5K, but because running is just about my least favorite thing to do in this entire world, wide world, I got the Marine to help me. I've questioned that decision several times. You know, My husband served in the Marines, and he's a marathon runner. I would run, and he would be behind me like a drill sergeant in the Marines, encouraging me to continue. But that's what it took, and he did a great job. He did so with my permission. And much to my neighbors' dismay, when they saw my husband behind me screaming at the top of his lungs for me to get up a hill, they finally understood what we were doing and why. It was actually kind of funny. It could have been a comedy routine. But here's what I did to actually get ready for a backpack. I started walking 3 miles a day. Then I progressed to 5, 7, 9, 11. It took me a series of weeks to do that, a number of weeks. After I did that, I added a 5-pound bag of flour into my day pack. I put that 5-pound bag of flour in a gallon Ziploc bag and put that inside. I trained when it was raining, hot, windy, freezing cold. It didn't matter. Daytime, nighttime, I trained in all weather conditions. And the reason that flour was in a Ziploc bag was because if the flour got wet, it didn't turn into a cement block inside of my day pack. Then, after a number of weeks, I increased it to 2 5-pound bags until I got up to 4 or 5-pound bags of flour in my day pack. I couldn't fit any more into the day pack. That was all I could get in there. At that point, I realized, and my husband realized, because I was being so diligent, and I was, that I went ahead and started looking for backpacks. It took me about 3 months to find the right backpack for me. I would try one, hike with it for a little bit, fill it up, wouldn't work. It took me 7 backpacks before I found the right one. I hike with a Osprey Ija 58. It's a perfect pack for me. It is not an ultralight backpack. I tried the Hyperlight, I tried all of those ultralight backpacks. They just did not work for me in my back, my frame. They just didn't work. Once I found the right backpack, I loaded it with 25 pounds, and then I went to 30 after a period of time, also progressing up to 13 and 14 miles each time I went out to train. I tried to train 5 days a week. Most of the time I was successful in doing that. I have hit the 1 mile mark, and honestly, my left foot doesn't hurt at all. Okay, am I imagining that? Yesterday, I did this walk, and it didn't go so well. My left foot really hurt when I got home. But right now, it doesn't hurt at all. That's weird. Okay. One of the things I'm learning about having plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis, and this other thing I've got, that whatever it is I'm used to jumping out of bed in the morning, and the go button is hit, and that's it. I'm off to the races. And that's how I hike. I get up, pack my gear, and I'm out. I am finding that it takes about 30 minutes for my feet to wake up. They don't want to hit the go button as soon as they hit the floor. So the message to me is, when I'm sheltering or tenting, I'm going to need to take that 30 minutes to stretch and walk and let my feet wake up to the day. They're lazy. Oh well, I'm gonna have to adapt. And there you go. One of the things I am gonna be adding to my back weight, which is only a couple of ounces, is a stretching band. I do have a ball, a cork ball, but that stretching band is more effective for me in different ways. So that is going to be in my pack. It helps me quite a bit. It helped me pre-existing and this way as well. I love these little emblems we have in the park. They are so pretty. I just love them. One of the other things I'm wanting to do is that, you know, they often say stretch your foot like this way and your toes, but your toes need to be stretched this way as well. And so that is actually helping. My brother suggested that, and I have found that he was right. That was a good move on his part to share that with me. Thank you, brother. These are the flowers I was showing you just a minute ago. Pretty. Getting back to my feet. I have also changed shoes, and that was really hard for me to do. I did not want to do that. But whatever's going to help to the recuperation of my feet, or that possibly could have been the cause of some of my problems, I'm not sure. I was wearing Ultra Lone Peaks, which are a zero drop shoe, and most of you know what that is, but I have some neighbors and friends that don't know what that means. A zero drop shoe just means it's flat. There's no arch, there's no support, it's just, there's nothing, it's just zero. It's flat, it's just a flat surface, there's nothing. I did not know. Had I known, I would have done this differently. I did not know that when you have high arches, you cannot wear zero drop shoes. Bad, bad, bad. So I have switched, and I am now in a pair of Topos. Hold on just a minute. Topos have built-in arch support, and as soon as I put them on, I could feel the support in my arch area. Now, because I have ultra high arches, I was talking to a person at REI in the shoe department, and she suggested that I try Sol insoles, S-O-L, because they have high arches. I put those in my Topos and instantly felt complete and total support in my arch area, with the arch support that's already in the Topos and then the added support from the sole inserts. Now those sole inserts, they are moldable. They mold to the bottom of your foot on their own, or you can put them in the oven and warm them up and mold them to the bottom of your feet. I'm just going to let them do what they do organically. I'm not putting them in the oven. I can tell that the shoes are making a difference. Are they going to alleviate the problem? No. But they will assist in helping to keep the problem that I have with plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis from getting worse, I think. So the question is, you see those red cheeks? That's because it's warm. You know how warm it is? It's 65. Now you know what I mean when I say I like it better when it's colder. Anyway, I also had to take my jacket off. We are at 2 miles. I've got a mile left to go for my 3-mile walk. And this time around, we're going to be going up my little hills. Yesterday I did those and I did not do well on them. I did my loop. My feet didn't hurt. My feet don't hurt now, for the most part. But when I went up those little hills, my left foot let me know that was totally unacceptable. I want to tell you how much I appreciate the absolute support and encouragement that you all sent me in comments and likes, and in watching my video, sharing my update on leaving the AT. Humbled, humbled, humbled. Warm fuzzies. That was good for me. Thank you. And I so appreciate the fact that you all have shared some good advice, and that you want to continue on this journey with me. That makes me happy. What really makes me the most happy is when I hear from people who say, you have encouraged me, you have inspired me. I actually rode my bike today. I got on the treadmill today. I've started hiking. I did a little day hike. That is incredible, and I am so proud of you. Well done, every one of you. Additionally, I have changed out my tent. I did not want to get rid of my MSR Hubba Hubba tent. That tent's bulletproof. That is an awesome tent. That's an awesome tent for somebody that's a section or a day hiker. Weekend hiker, vacation hiker, not a through hiker. That baby with the footprint weighs just less than 5 pounds, which is what I was carrying around. So I ordered a Big Agnes, I think it's a Big Agnes HVUL 2. It weighs 3 pounds, so this 2 pounds has been cut off of my pack weight, in addition to changing out my Garmin. I had a Garmin Explorer, and that thing and I just were not friends. I could use it, and I used it well, but every time I put my backpack on, that thing would whack me in the face. And every morning I'd say, what did I do to you? It had to go. And it's been replaced with the Mini InReach 2, which is less than half the weight of the bigger one. Also, because it's warmer, I am not going to continue carrying my, I will continue having my air mattress, but I will not have the little foamy accordion style pad that goes underneath it. I'm going to use a piece of Tyvek, and I want to give you all a heads up on that Tyvek. Don't pay for Tyvek. If you can, keep from doing that on Amazon or anywhere else. If you pass a construction site, all you have to do is go up to the construction workers, explain to them what you're doing and why you need some, and they'll cut you a piece. That's what I did. I stopped at a construction site, talked to the foreman, told him what I was doing, and he said, come on. And he said, how big? And he cut it to what I needed. That's a way to save a little bit of money, and why pay for something when you can get it for free? And they don't seem to mind. He could have said no. He was completely enthusiastic. The pathway came from down there, came around and came up, and it's coming around, it's going up just a little bit more. And many of you are familiar with this scene from my pre-AT hike videos, talking about healing, encouragement, time, meditation, trying to have a different perspective. Okay, so this continues. It goes down just a little bit. It goes around, down, up, over, and down. And that's the way we're going. My current plan when I first start off is to hike 7 to 8 miles a day. I don't know if that's going to be feasible. It may have to be 5 miles a day or 4 miles a day. But the first week is going to be a break back into the AT period. Chainsaw, who often comments on this channel, is a gentleman that I met here in the park who is a trail maintainer. And he is a love. He is so sweet and kind and caring. He sent me a comment and said, you know, I'd like to suggest that you consider starting off by slack packing. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I have not made up my mind on whether I'm going to do that yet or not. I know low mileage is for sure, but slack packing is probably going to be in addition to that for the first few days. So thank you, Chainsaw. Thanks for sending that to me. Good idea. I'm at 2.5 miles, and my feet don't hurt. That's weird, because they hurt before I started. I don't know if that's because I have stretched out the fascia or the tendons. All right, everybody. I have hiked my 3 miles in the park. It's going to take me a little bit longer to get home. And the hike has been successful today. Part of this test is not just the walk. It's to see how my feet may swell or the pain that is caused from me walking today. Y'all take good care, and I'll see you in my next video.